cool. I gotta check that out. Are you on the platforms as Motion Plus?
Yeah, for sure.
Bet.
All one word, capital M-O. I can't even spell my name.
Bet.
Capital Motion, capital Plus. So it's
Oh, I'm
all
definitely
one.
in there.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
brother.
man. Well, hey, we live.
Live and
Yes,
direct.
sir.
You see, I slipped that in there. What's up, man? It's good to be alive on a Monday night, in the words of that Second City Saint that we're
Amen.
keeping most of
Amen.
them watching.
Yeah, I was watching it. It was John Cena's last Madison Square Garden match. They turned it
Oh,
into a triple threat. So
oh, shoot. Come on now. Come on.
we talking wrestling.
But here we are on 520, Collective 520 IXC on a Monday night, Monday, November 17th, 2025. We got John Cena. We got new NF. We've got new Motion Plus on the way. We got new Polished Arrow. Of course, we're still riding off that new Frenchy riff. Man, we got so much stuff to talk about tonight, man. But I want to do, okay, so very few people know this, though, guys. I have been working on the ability to read lips. I thought it'd be cool if I could read lips. And I looked out my window today and I saw my neighbor standing in the street talking. And so I was like, okay, this is a good time where I can practice this, you know? So I was trying to read. And if I did it correctly, they were talking about the creepy neighbor that was like kind of stalking the neighbors in the neighborhood, dude. I don't know if
Do
that's
you
what.
have a creepy neighbor?
Oh my gosh, this is one of those stories, EB. I already caught on. This guy, he's bugging out.
I was
It's
waiting
him.
For, I was
It's
waiting
him.
For a dad joke. But...
It is.
It was. It might not have been the best, but I tried.
Oh,
You know.
I was like, wait a minute. He almost got me again. He had me last week.
It
Right.
didn't catch. I didn't catch it.
Well, you know,
I was waiting for the story to kick in. That's what I was.
yeah.
He
You know,
got
I
him.
asked my wife when her birthday was, and she said March 1st. And so I walked around the room and came back and asked her again.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta do
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
I was at a grocery store. And they said, "Do you want your milk in a bag?" I said, "Nah, I prefer it in the jug."
Yeah, man. Oh, it's gonna be a good night, y'all. Hopefully our guy Big Swiss pops in too, man. Like he was having some technical difficulties, so we're
Come on, Elon. Tighten up, Elon.
we're prayerful and hopeful that Big Swizzle will be here soon. But yeah, man, we got homies Frenchy Riff Motion Plus the vet in the house, man, hanging out with us, representing Polished Arrow. It's a big week for Polished Arrow. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. How you feeling, Motion Plus?
Man, I'm blessed to be here, fam. I'm blessed to be here. Uh, as some people know, I lost my mother on Halloween, so just been just been mourning that, and life continues on, right? We mourn, we remember, but we got to pick ourselves up and keep going. So that's what I've been doing the best I can.
Wow, man. Condolences, my brother.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we definitely been praying.
Didn't mean to do a Debbie Downer. It's just
Nah, that's just real, bro.
yeah.
We definitely been praying for you, man. So
I appreciate it so much, for real.
sir.
The outpouring has been amazing, man. It you can't I don't know how to say this correctly. You can't overstate the power of prayer and to know that people are praying for you. Like it brings you so much. It's like rest, encouragement, it's everything. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know that people care enough to put you in their prayers and lift you up. Because we live in a cold world where society is moving at the speed of light, right? You know what I'm saying? So for the fact that people would take their precious time, that they could be praying about everything about what they got going on and their families going on, that they would take the time in a lot of ways to pray for a stranger, right? In my family. So I find that to be one of the most beautiful gifts that somebody can give somebody, for real, for real. So I appreciate that.
Amen to that, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Frenchie, what's been going on in the past week, bro?
Oh man, after dealing with the distro kid fiasco.
What happened? I want to hear the story.
Man, I switched distributors because I forgot to turn in the music early enough, because they tell you well, like 2 weeks out or something like that. But anyway, so I thought it was enough time, but I switched distributors and they were like, yeah, fine. Next Friday works just fine. And I show up on Friday. My wife wakes me up like, hey, what happened to the song? I was like, what do you mean? It's on Spotify. It wasn't on Spotify. And I'm just like, nah. But they apologized. They were cool. And they fixed it as fast as they could. So big shout out to them for being that open and actually replying. That's crazy. But yeah, so it's finally out. You know, it's unfortunate, but you know, just trying to push it now. But anyway, we all good. Traveled this past weekend. I was out in Minnesota, so it's actually not cold, surprisingly. So
It's going to be. It's going to be.
well, are you up in that area?
I'm in Illinois, so
Oh, yeah, my wife's
I
from.
mean, it's not Minnesota cold. Shout out to Caboose. He lives with that real Minnesota cold.
It's
but
nasty work up there. I'm telling you
no,
right
it's
now.
crazy.
It's nasty work.
I remember going up and me and Caboose went to GMA's one year, the Gospel Music Awards. You know, they used to do the whole week in Nashville. And we were both on Syntax. And so he would come down to my crib in Illinois, and then we'd shoot over to Nashville. So I took him home from that. And I forgot what it was. It was late April. It was, matter of fact, I think it was my birthday, April 29th. And where he lived at in Bemidji, the lake was still frozen. April 29th. Like, that Minnesota cold is real. That Minnesota cold is real.
Yeah. So Caboose can keep that, dude.
You can keep all that. I tell my wife too. She'd be like, "Baby, you want to go up there Christmas?" I'm like, "I don't actually. I don't."
No, I'm good. I'm good on that.
She's probably watching. Baby, I'm sorry. I mean, yes, we will go wherever you want.
Hey, shout out to the people that are hanging out with us on YouTube. We see you, man. Make sure you leave us a comment. We want to know you're here so we can shout you out and get you into the conversation, man. And like we told you last week, as Frenchie was saying, he got the new single, Steps, right? So if you haven't had a chance to go listen to it yet, man, it is on our Fresh Picks playlist right here on YouTube and YouTube Music, man. So make sure you go check it out. So.
Sure is. Appreciate that.
Tap in.
Appreciate that.
Well, hey guys, a couple of headlines that I wanted to share and get a reaction to that caught my eye.
Let's go.
The last couple of days here. I'm trying to decide which one to go with first here. Okay, let's go with this one first. We'll say the other one for a second here. Here we go. Let's see. Protestant pastor announces he has 2 wives and claims polygamy is biblical.
I saw that. I saw that one.
Like
that was trending hard on Twitter.
Wow.
Let's be Protestant. That's kind of a vague. What are we talking when it comes to Protestant? I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, man. What's y'all's reaction to this, man? Are you surprised that a Protestant pastor is out here saying, "Yo, go get you a few shorties if you can"?
It goes deeper than that. He actually makes an entire video backing himself, like doubling down almost.
Well, he better. He's in the middle of it, dude.
Whipping out all types of biblical texts, and I'm just like, continue. Like, bro, are you like, what is happening right now?
Like he's gonna get to a different conclusion if he keeps going.
Yeah, I'm like, keep going. Yeah. But honestly, legally, you can only marry one anyway. So I don't even understand how you can marry
it doesn't
two.
fall under laws of the land, right? I mean, there's biblical text for it, but that was a different time, and then things have changed, right? As far as we go, laws of the land, or
well, or the things that Christ said to us.
Absolutely. Like, it doesn't talk about polygamy anywhere in the New Testament at all, right? I mean, the new covenant, right? So
it talks about taking one wife.
One wife.
He might as well. I mean, so is he? Maybe he's leaning into some Mormonism there. Word to the Mormons.
That's why I was saying, like, what exactly are we labeling as Protestant right now?
Popping off
for real,
you
But it's like Paul directly talks about that in Timothy. If you're in a pastoral like leadership position, like this person must be of one woman, and he just happens to be a pastor.
Well, dude, we've seen too much stuff going crazy when it comes to pastors and what's being approved and allowed to happen. I almost clipped it, but I'll just throw it in here with part of this conversation. I saw this one quote youth pastor that was I can't even think of the word. It's kind of like polygamy, but it's not exactly polygamy. I can't think of it right off. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, this youth pastor approved this marriage of 4 dudes to each other. So that was cool.
Wow.
Of supposedly a church.
That's new to me. But on the real though, like these type of headlines, give more fuel.
Polyamorous. Yeah.
Sorry, Frenchie.
You're good. You're good.
You
I
know.
was saying that these type of headlines give more fuel to the atheist community and all these, right? All
People
these
pointing the finger.
they're just waiting to point out the Christianity.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
look
sir.
at this, and then they apply that to all of us now. So then now we got more work.
Well, and they don't realize what
right
actual Christianity is, so it's easy to.
How can they know? Right.
Look at them acting up. Let's just keep it a buck, right? We'll keep it a buck. It's all rooted in selfishness when you want to go there and sex. That's your own self-indulging, your own flesh, what your fleshly desires are, probably fantasies there. And how can I biblically say that this is okay to do this? You know what I mean? It's all rooted in selfishness and self-indulgence. So yeah, no, he's bugging out. I wish we had a bugging out buzzer.
Yeah, he's on his own on that one, big dog. I mean, I keep on.
That's crazy work for real.
And you know what's wild to me, dude, is like we keep seeing all this stuff with all these different pastors, man. That's just like there's no way that this happened. And I keep going back to like, okay, like what are their congregation doing? Like what are they saying?
They gotta be looking at him sideways.
Somebody.
Yeah, but if you were just like, okay, I guess I'll just keep right on going. I mean, he's co-signing it, right? He's
running our flock. Law.
Yeah.
No, they got to be like, yo, this dude is bugging out. He's gonna make us look crazy. Like this ain't built. There's got to be. We live in a world though that you're not supposed to question the pastor. You're not supposed to question his authority. We've gotten away to where people, man, I could just say so much. It might tick people off, man. But I've left churches because of unbiblical acts from a pastor.
And that's not wrong.
I mean, I've stepped away. I had there's a parable in the Bible that talks of the 10 coins, right? That the woman swept the floor looking for the 10 coins. Right, and that when that one lost coin was found, all of heaven will rejoice. Right, that and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's clearly talking about a lost soul. I was in a church where a pastor, it was a prosperity church. I'm not going to talk about anybody that goes to those type of churches. You got to go where the Lord leads you, right? But in my instance, it was so crazy because he just literally, it was in a Bible study, and he was like, "See, that's what I mean. That God." That's how important money is to God, that he made it into a monetary thing. And I stood up and I was with a good friend of mine who was older. He was like a spiritual father to me. And I looked at him and I was like, that ain't right. And I looked at the pastor, and of course he was a bishop. And I said, with all due respect, Bishop, and I'm not going to say his name, but I was like, that's not what that passage says. And he told me that I was demon filled and had a spirit of disobedience and just chastised me. And I never returned. I never returned to that church. And there needs to be people that need to do that in this guy's church, clearly.
It seems like a coordinated effort, though, because why is this trending? You know what I mean? He's not the first person to do this. A lot of people get away with this in other little cultures around, I'm guessing, Utah and other places like that. So, but why is this guy trending? Right? It's like it's a coordinated effort to continually, bring down the Christianity, to bring down the morals.
Right. Well, because like it's wild because now it's just like out there in the open, like happening in the church, where like not that long ago, something like this, you'd have to go like buy a farm or something and get people to come live on it, and then be like, hey, ta-da, look at me and my wives.
There is Mormons that do that. There is polygamy.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
There's like a whole sect of Mormons that still live like this.
But it's not trending. It's only trending with a Christian, right? They can attach a Christian name.
The narrative.
They're like, oh,
Yeah.
look at that. This make this go crazy because it helps them. It boosts their campaign.
Let's
But
throw this in the algorithm and show how crazy Christians are.
right. But we know the
Right.
faith, like we know the word. So it's like, man, all right,
Well,
we'll take this
it's
L. It's a little L.
the media likes the whole gotcha thing on whenever it comes to Christianity,
Yeah.
and even if you don't know the scriptures like that, people are smart enough to know this doesn't seem right.
Right.
Whether they know it or not. Dude, so Motion, not exactly the same situation as you, but me and my buddy went and visited this church back when we were in college, right? And so in the Branson area, and I know you're probably familiar with Branson, it's live music, theaters everywhere, live shows and stuff.
Absolutely.
And we went in and we're sitting there, we're waiting for it to start, and all of a sudden, like the lights go off. They had the curtain down on stage, curtain started to come up. There's like smoke and lights and lasers and all this stuff. And we're like, what's happening? And like it's another Branson show, And then they had like 8 singers out on the front, and one gal wasn't even singing. She was just holding her mic to the crowd and stuff, trying to get them to sing. And we made it through one song, and we looked at each other and we were like, you ready to go? We're like, yep. And so we start walking out, and we ran into someone that my buddy knew that was coming in, and they're like, oh, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, we're looking for the best. Yeah, we're leaving. So, I mean, hey, it's not wrong. I guess the point is it's not wrong to get up out there when you know it's not right.
I mean, you should feel it in your spirit, right? I mean, you just know. That's not the only situation I've been in like that, but that was the most flagrant foul, right?
For real.
Like you're just twisting the word for your own means. You know what I mean? To justify why you're emptying everybody's coffers for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Right.
Or in the case of this dude, I need more wives. I mean, if it starts with 2, he's gonna go to the next. He's gonna.
Why not? What's wrong with 3?
What's stopping you now?
What's wrong with 3? Yeah. But I've been also seeing like the LGBT churches, like literally pray a whole different prayer, and like I seen that stuff trending on Twitter too, and I'm like, man, that is crazy. Like if I'm in that congregation, somebody just start praying sideways like that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get up right then and there, baby.
There's probably people that leave from that.
I'm just gonna walk straight back out, baby. Like you're in there, the pastor start talking reckless. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave, actually. But there is a little moment where you're, it's like, man, I'm in the church. It's like, am I here to worship? Okay, am I gonna ignore? Can I ignore this blasphemy? Right? Can we all just rebuke this stuff? It's like that little battle that people go in. You have that little fight in your head. It's like, man, am I walking out on God? Like, what's going on? So I could see why some people would sit there, and just kind of.
It's interesting that you said that, because the gentleman that I was talking about that was in the Bible study with me, that, like I said, is like a spiritual father to me.
Mm-hmm.
He still goes to that church to this day. And his whole thing, he's like very high on stewardship and stuff like that, right? Not really into the prosperity thing. And why do you always go to these type of churches? And he's been there for years. We're talking when this happened, that has to be 20 years ago when that happened to me, right? And he still goes to the same church. And the other day, him and his family had me out when my mother passed away to out to a dinner. They wanted to buy us dinner and just give their condolences and stuff like that. So me and my wife went to that, and I was just talking to him. Why do you still go there? And he says, because in my heart, I feel like God has brought me here to serve. Like he's there to be there. He's a deacon of the church. He's there to serve. And even though he doesn't agree with everything that bishop does, he feels led to be there and to serve. So you just never know where God moves on your heart, like where you're supposed to. Maybe he's supposed to be that grounding where when other people question things, well, yeah, it's like this, but maybe it's a counterpoint or something. I don't know. Where I can't handle the blatant misuse of the scripture. You know what I mean? Like I can't handle it. So
we talked about it. Yeah.
Hold their ground at certain things,
Eric, you remember we talked about it last week. We talked about like how everyone has different convictions, right? So it's like if you don't have that conviction for that specific thing, then you might just be saying, all right, cool, I'm just gonna sit here, my mom, I'm just gonna serve, I'm gonna do me. Like it's not affecting me like that. Like even me and my wife, we have different convictions about like Halloween, for example, or things like that. So I understand to a certain extent, but if it's like everyone's being blasphemous, I'm out of there.
If it causes you to be unevenly yoked, you probably should bounce, right?
Right.
Or if if you feel conviction in your heart, it's just like what you said.
That's it.
You should probably bounce.
Yep.
Right. Don't ignore where God is trying to take you, for sure.
For sure. Well, let's get into the second one, man. The second one, dude. I don't know. I'm really interested to see y'all's reaction on this. So we know that the Babylon Bee likes to walk that line at times, right?
It's the parody, though, right?
Well, it is, but now this is not from the Babylon Bee, but it is about the Babylon Bee. So here we go. We got Babylon Bee deletes story joking about Israel assassinating Megyn Kelly for platforming anti-Semites. So if you guys have not heard or not familiar with what's happening here,
I'm kind of in the blank of this one.
So the Babylon Bee put the story up that has been taken down. You can no longer access it. They took down like their X posts and all that stuff. But essentially, the story was, this take on what has happened over the last year. With like, excuse me, kind of throwing that satire with the whole pager bombings, that happened in Israel.
Right.
And it was talking about how like they were pretending to talk with someone on Megyn Kelly's team, that she had to throw her old pager in the trash and stuff because she had Tucker Carlson on her show. Seen as an
I get it now. Yeah, I get it. Okay.
So anyway, like Megyn Kelly responded directly to the head guy over at Babylon Bee and was like, yo, what's this about? This ain't funny at all,
Right.
A lot of responses here, and I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I mean, I'm guessing it's probably not the first time that Babylon Bee has had to take down a story like this, but it sure doesn't happen very often. Especially when you're coming with a
it sounds real suspect, because if you're satire, you should just stand on it. You know what I mean? If you're funny, guys, just keep it funny. Just. You can't be backtracking if you're funny. If it, you know what I'm saying?
Stand on your choices, right? Stand on your choices. I mean, we live in it's a volatile time for anything that's about that right now. I mean, from everything from the pager bombings to now you got a whole conspiracy with Charlie Kirk, right? That's running around.
Yeah, it's cooking up.
It's cooking tough, right? I watched some videos that had me bugging. Like, gosh, dang, did they do an explosive in his neck? Did they? I saw some foot, but they can make anything look like anything these days. So you gotta kind of watch it. But man, I don't know. I mean, I think it's about they need to be tasteful with their parodies. Yeah. Maybe they need to pick and choose what they choose to say and do. I like a good laugh. Some of that Babylon Bee stuff is funny. I ain't gonna front.
For real.
Well, and we also got to remember that for some people, they just cannot understand satire either. Even if you tell them that's what it is. Like I remember, and it's been a few years now, but I mean, I had actually done a satirical piece on our website about Kanye West and Christian hip hop. And there were some people that responded like, yo, this isn't right, but I'm like, dude, it's just satire.
They took it for real, yeah.
So,
but it wasn't
society that can't joke anymore, unfortunately.
Well, or there's those people who can't joke. There's also some people who just aren't intelligent enough to know the difference.
But my issue is everyone knows the Babylon Bee is joking around about everything. Right. So why would that one be taken more seriously than their last 35 posts?
I would I guess, I don't know, if I try to put myself in Megyn Kelly's shoes, would I be upset about an article that is talking about my eventual assassination, whether it's true or not.
If it'll happen or not, yeah.
I mean, who's not being talked about like that? That's in the Republican Party, or you know what I mean? Like,
Right, the
well,
conservative.
if you're not getting that, then you ain't doing something right.
If it ain't the Babylon B, it's the
For real.
Simpsons predicting everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Nah,
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be in the middle of the conservative movement, you're gonna
you're for
yeah.
sure getting
Shout out
death
to Kyle,
threats.
shout out to Kyle Manning. You're right, Kyle. Satire can be dangerous, dude.
But everyone's getting it though. That's why I didn't think it's like that crazy. Like everyone, the moment if you even just say you represent God on Twitter, you might get a death threat at some
Yeah.
point if you get in an argument with a atheist long enough. They start threatening you. So it's like everyone's getting it. I understand why the Babylon Bee felt like they could put that joke out there. Like I don't see like as it's outside their brand or outside the context of what they post normally. So I see why they did it. I don't know why they deleted it. Like who are they scared of? Was there a lawsuit? Was there a threat from not just Megyn Kelly but others?
Like, here's the thing. So everyone knows that when Babylon B started, there was very heavily into inspired by their Christian beliefs. Dude, I mean, every once in a while they'll talk about something that has to do with the church, but it's very rare anymore too. So I mean that when you see some of these things, if you still put them in that category, oh well, this is a Christian media site, even if it is satire. Like, how well are they representing the faith with some of these choices? Also, although I don't think that's their priority and really hasn't been for a while. It's still funny. They still got some funny stuff.
Hey, I've seen Babylon B stuff trend like it's real though.
Yes,
Oh
me
yeah,
too.
well,
I've seen it.
people grab it and share it. Like I said, those are those people who
Yeah.
don't realize, the same thing with like the Onion, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, people believe a lot of that stuff because I was just in Minnesota and my wife's grandparents, one of her grandparents was showing me something on Facebook, but he caught on to something, and that's what kind of threw me off because he was showing me something. It said like a free, one of those like free memes or something. He was like, "Oh, look at this," and he's laughing at it. I was like, "Oh, that's fake, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I know." I was like, "Oh." They're starting to figure it out. Like they're not being fooled anymore. So I'm like, all right. So I think
Well, Frenchie, it's like that old story where two conspiracy theorists walked into a bar, and it couldn't have been a coincidence, right?
Do-do-dum.
But hey, shout out to Kyle. Hey, and hey, I see that there's other people hanging in the chat, man. Make sure you let us know you're here, man. Get your thoughts. What do you think? Does Babylon B overstep, particularly when it comes to making up a story about someone's potential assassination?
If it wasn't Megyn Kelly, would it be a big deal? If it was anyone else?
Probably not.
Let's see. Kyle, what does the Bible say about joking? That's fair enough, Kyle.
What does the Bible say about joking?
Yeah,
I want to
Kyle.
know.
Which verse are you referring to, Kyle?
Nah, for real, I want to know that because I clown too much.
Well,
they say I know one verse that says like if you talk long enough, you have sinned.
Yeah,
like if you talk too much, you're gonna sin.
Having control over our tongue.
Yeah, that's true.
I've caught myself on that one too. I was like,
because what does joking lead to? Joking leads to other things. Especially if it isn't controlled, right? It leads to gossip, and it leads to derogatory statements, potentially, different things that come out, even if that isn't the original intent, right? So
it can lead to that. I get it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where some of those fine lines to try to walk, right? How well are we kind of protecting what's in our heart and what comes out of our mouth, right? Because obviously we're told that the things that are in our heart is what's going to come forth in our speech. So
yeah.
And I know we joke on here, Kyle. I'm sorry. I joke sometimes, and sometimes they're good, and sometimes they're not good. And tonight they've not been good, but I've tried.
Listen, man, I think it's okay to bust a funny every once in a while, man.
Every once in a while.
You have to bust a funny.
Our pastor on Sunday, he be killing it, man. He be tearing that 8 a.m. service. It's stand up hour, baby. First 10 minutes.
I think that makes it feel good, though, man.
It does. My wife loves it.
Everybody up, you know what I mean? Because you waking up. A lot of people coming into church tired. Some people are ready to go, right? You know, but you crack a couple jokes, loosens everybody up. The shoulders get loose. You can get into the word. You know,
he gets serious real quick too. So I like that. That's good.
Well, something else that's good for us to do every once in a while, and we haven't done this for a hot minute, but man, it's good every once in a while on these episodes of IXC that we talk about some music, because we all love music here at the show. We all are big fans of all kinds of music, but especially Christian hip-hop.
Sure.
And I don't know where you guys are, like if you're fans of this guy, but there was hold on one second. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, Kyle, that's what we were just talking about. He said, what about people who don't understand that Babylon B is satirical? And that is a problem. That is a problem. So, but NF has a new EP, and I wanted to bring him up. I don't know how you guys feel about NF. Like, I went through a stretch where, especially with his early albums, that man, I listened to a lot of NF, you know, back in the day there. And I haven't listened to him a whole lot. Like I was telling Frenchie before we went live, I don't know that I even listened to much of the last album, Hope. Not because I was like being intentional about it or anything like that. I just really didn't. So maybe I was like, well, maybe I just kind of have moved on to a new phase of my life where NF just isn't it. You know, that happens. You know, your taste change or whatever. But I heard the new single Fear, which is also the title of his EP, and I was like, oh, is Nate back on his being a little bit more open and obvious, I think would be the right way, because I'm not saying he completely abandoned talking about his faith and what Christianity means. I think maybe it got a lot more metaphorical for him, and you would have to really unpack it to.
He was being mainstream safe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, well, and here's the thing: if it's in there, but it's hidden,
that's no diss, that's no shade,
right?
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing for every artist.
I mean,
well, but what it means is like, yeah, you can still argue that it's still there, and for people who really know what the scriptures tell us and stuff, you might be able to pick it out. But for someone who doesn't, it's not easy to know that that's what he's talking about. However, I heard the new song and I was like, oh, like he's being, very upfront about talking to God and knowing that God is kind of, that God's in control of his steps and where he's heading, and asking some questions that I don't think are disrespectful in any way, but I think they are very honest. That questions that he's asking God.
You see Kyle Manning put
that NF is crazy talented. I hate questioning anyone's Christianity, but I mean that there are questions about when you start looking at the fruit, right? So
what you just said,
Jose, also the most emotional raw, especially with him losing. Yeah, like he is, and he's always an artist that's wore his emotions right out there. But I as I listened through this EP, I was like, okay, this may have been the project that I've been kind of waiting on from him for a while, and we'll get back into that in a second. What were you gonna say, Frenchie?
No, I was just saying motion. What you said earlier about being mainstream safe. The first song that popped up in my head was that "All I Need Is You" from Craig. that it was just like, yeah, it's like it's safe, right? It's not very straightforward. It doesn't say anything. It's not the you didn't whip out the Jesus counter. I know the I know the old joke back in the day with all Christian rappers. You just wait for the Jesus counter. You're just like, all right, cool. He said Jesus once, twice. All right, cool. He's Christian. He's a Christian guy. And I think the first time I was exposed to NF's music, is probably 2-3 years back. And I didn't know he was a Christian rapper because I was just listening to like a brand new artist. So, and then nothing really, and I don't know what project I listened to specifically, but it wasn't like very blatant at all. It sounded again like that mainstream safe that Bush was talking about. So so that kind of seems on brand to me as someone that was recently uh exposed to his music. So it feels like it's kind of still on brand, but that Fear song and a couple of the songs on there go pretty tough in there. So I'm not so I think I need to explore it a little bit deeper.
Well, here's what I think is interesting, because when you talk about like the insane crossover into the mainstream that NF has had, right? Like, I mean, arguably you could say he's the most successful person okay, hold on, but let me back. Most successful rapper that has crossed over from the Christian industry into the mainstream.
Yeah, you
I
say
think
that.
that's fair to say.
I think so.
If we exclude Kanye.
Yeah, and if you listen to his first couple albums before he really had that major breakthrough in the mainstream, he was doing different. He was rapping, he was singing, he was doing a lot of different stuff, right? And then I think he went through this phase where he had to show. I think he felt like he had to show people, I can rap, and I deserve to be here, type of thing. And he talks about it in this project, this Fear project, of now, what's his motivation? He's feeling kind of bored because he's shown that he can do this. And so that's like got me thinking, okay, is that part of why he's like, okay, if I'm kind of bored, let me get into this stuff that really matters to me and not worry as much about what people are saying anymore.
He doesn't have to show and prove at this point, right? So, and for all clarity, as we've talked about, I have not heard the new project, so I don't want to chime in too much, but I'm familiar with him as an artist, right? But he's maybe he's exploring stuff, and you don't know what season he's in right now, right? And it's in his own life, right? Like, we're always in different seasons, and there's peaks and valleys through everything that we go through in our relationship with Christ, right? There's times where you're going to feel so on fire that's all you want to talk about, and then there's other times where it's a little more laid back in you. It's there, but it's not your every waking moment. Like, you don't know where he's at in his faith. And the relationship with Christ is a very personal thing. Everybody is in different places at different times, but I agree with you, it's usually shown by the fruit that you bear. You know what I mean? I think that's super important as an MC who teeters between CHH and underground hip hop. I'm definitely that guy, right? I kind of live in a weird gray area. I've talked about it a lot, but I don't think that you can ever deny that the message ain't there. I might make a song like the 80s, free plug, I guess, that I have out right now that just talks about the 80s when I was growing up, and it's not overly Christian, right? But then there's other songs that I'll hit you with that are absolutely full blown Christian. So it's just about maybe what's hitting him in his creative juices, what season he is in right now with Christ. You know what I mean? And he feels more open. He's established himself. He can maybe feel like he can talk about his faith a little more, where he had to be mainstream safe before. You just never know what's on somebody's heart. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, again, it goes back to your fruits. Do the fruits show?
Yeah. Well, and when you talk about where he's at this point, like if he wants to dive really into like kind of sharing those truths of the gospel, right, in his music, he's at a point in a place where who's going to stop him?
He got every right to do it.
And that's what I'm hoping. I hope that this is just like a door that's opening for NF,
right?
and he like does lean into that. I mean, yeah, Kyle says he raps the blues, and I agree with that to an extent, and I think I agreed more so even a couple of years ago. Now I think I just see an artist that's very in touch with the reality of what he's going through and what he feels, and he deals with it in his music. Because I don't think that he necessarily like glorifies feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
Some
that's
people
what
are just emo, man.
He said some. Hey, he said some strong things on that Fear song, man. Motion, when you listen to him, he talked about some pills and all that. Like he said some strong stuff in there. That's not easy to deal with. And he also talks about being a father and a couple other songs. So I get that as a recently new dad. That you just walk into that season, and it's a lot. It's a lot to
Do
hit
you
you all
feel
at
like he's
once.
planting seeds though? Are there seeds there? Because that's what matters. Because he has a lot of people that are listening to him that are not Christian. So
it's got to an audience that is
he sprinkling seeds? That's what matters. Because you never know where those seeds aren't going to go null and void. You know what I mean?
But how much does his audience sway the type of music you make? You know what I mean? It's like if you have 1 million listeners, or 500,000 listeners constantly, that might affect what kind of music you're launching a little bit. It's just a little bit. I don't know. Different season.
I'm following your train of thought, dude. I will say though, he's been doing this for long enough now and consistently that I don't know that I would believe that is him. I think he's gonna make what he thinks he should make, no matter what. At this point,
that's fair.
I mean, because he has it, like he's stayed true through what 6 albums now, something like that. So, or albums and EPs combined, mixtapes, whatever. So I think there's that, man, and so I don't know if this is that door opening of him being ready to get more just bold with the faith, dude. Like I hope that happens for NF, and because like I said, though, like Motion was saying, that core audience that he's built, I think are like kids that need that. I really do. And if that happens, dude, like I know Kyle's gonna call me out on this for saying this, and I don't know a better way to say it, because I'm not one that is worried about, well, what's the hierarchy, what's the actual rankings, but if he gets to where he is a lot more open about the Christian faith that he has, does he take over, and does he go down in history as like that top Christian MC?
But
the most selling Christian MC. That don't mean he's the top.
Yeah.
Top echelon.
But EB,
the most successful Christian MC.
We gotta talk that crossover. I mean, he does have an MGK feature. Okay, no diss to MGK. I don't know about his faith and anything like that, but I never thought it was something that he's has ever come out about publicly. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. But I and Lecrae gets a lot of flack for having these type of features. I mean, in fact, I think he gets called out almost every single time he's done it. And but he says, I think recently I saw in the video, he's on the podcast talking about finally replying to how people call him out all the time for these features, and he says that he was doing a video with T.I., and then T.I. like had to go. He's like, hey, I have to go to this comedy show, and Lecrae's like, yeah, I'll tag along with you or whatever. Cool. T.I. was cool with it, but then like T.I.'s people was like warning him, it's like, hey man, this comedy show is gonna be raunchy, whatever, yada yada. He's like, oh, that's fine, no problem. And so he goes to this comedy show, and of course the comedians spot him, and so they start like throwing all these like Christian jokes and all this stuff because they know he's in there. But he says when the comedian came off the stage, he came up to him and was like, hey man, I ain't know much about you before, but I heard you on that song with Big Crit. I think that song was like back in 2013 or something like that. And it just, and I appreciate your, your whatever, your stance, everything like that. And he's saying that, oh man, like this gave me the opportunity. And then he's like, all these guys are going down the rabbit hole now once they hear him doing the song with Big Crit. And that was like my argument. I know we've talked about this a little bit before, EB, but
yeah,
like when Christian artists, mix it in with the mainstream artists, yes, it does introduce whoever that mainstream artist is fans to a Christian artist. They're going to go down that rabbit hole, and whether or not, the Holy Spirit works on them through those songs, but it also depends on the songs. You know what I mean? So it's like you go down the rabbit hole looking for only songs that sound like the one that he's got featured with T.I. or something like that. Then, or you run into the songs where he's featuring other like Christian artists. They're talking about the gospel, like, are you turned off by stuff like that? You know what I mean? So it's like, it also matters the kind of catalog, like if you feature a guy like MGK or whatever, so MGK's fans now are going to look into NF. Are they going to find, the gospel in the music?
I hope. I think a lot of those fans are crossover between the two. I will say, if we make that straight comparison between NF and Lecrae, I think the difference is, look, NF has not ever tried to market himself as like the face of Christian hip hop. I don't think I don't think he's ever looked for any kind of title other than he just wants to make the music that he's got inside him and get it out there.
Lecrae's open and honest that he's a Christian, Christian artist, though, right? So as big as he is, and he never ran from it, did he? I mean,
not that BT interview way back in like 20, what was it, like 26, 2006 or 7?
He backpedaled a little bit. I'm not aware of that.
He went down that I'm a rapper.
Yeah, Christian. He was like, no, I'm not a Christian rapper. I'm not.
I'm a rapper that happens to be a Christian.
I was like, oh.
See, and I lean that. Well, maybe I have those sensibilities.
I mean, man. Is he wrong?
And I don't, but. Yeah,
it's a very slippery slope.
It's semantics, dude. It's semantics because
I mean, just stick to it. Like, what would have been the big deal of saying, "Yeah, I'm a Christian rapper"? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like
I openly claim CHH though.
Yeah,
right?
you stand on it.
And I'm not Lecrae. I'm not on no level like that. But like, I do lean into, I'm a rapper that's a Christian. Right, but
that's assumed.
I also,
if you're a Christian rapper,
yeah, I'm a Christian rapper.
Yeah, I'm saying it's also assumed that you're a rapper that's Christian. Because it's like the fact that he like separated and had to like backpedal on it, that was unnecessary. It's like, yes, bro, you are a Christian rapper.
and it's wild because I think I don't know, and maybe I just miss it, but I don't see that conversation happening anywhere but like Christian hip hop.
Yeah, that we all say that stuff to each other. Yeah, that it's a debate. That it's instead of saying we all believe in Jesus and we're all serving the same God, right? Like,
because what should be the top priority, right?
Right. No, yeah. Listen, I heard what is his name? Man, this changed my life the other day, and it's so simple and so easy. And I don't know. Is it Richie Righteous? Rich Righteous? What is the? Do you know what I'm talking about? Is it? I saw it. It just happened to show up in my algorithm on TikTok, right? And I think his name was Rich Righteous or Richie Righteous. Lord forgive me if people in the chat know who I'm talking about.
Well,
he said something so profound that changed me. Like, and it was so stupid that it was that simple, but he was like, to musicians, and I consider myself a musician, whether you're an MC or whatever, music, whatever. He said to the musicians, don't let your music be louder than the message. As simple as that sounds, I don't know why. Maybe it was God just put it. It changed me, and I was like, "Gosh, it's so simple but so profound." Don't let the music be louder than the message. And I was like, "It's like it just changed exactly how I feel about everything."
Because at the end of the day, what's most important when we're trying to make these little silly definitions and descriptions, like what are we doing? We're trying to find a way to say, well, this is perhaps just as important, or when it's like, no, dude, at the end of the day,
accept me because I'm a good rapper, right? I can please accept me. I'm a good rapper. Right. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I'm a really good rapper that can rap as good as all the other rappers
Right.
I just so happen to believe in Jesus as my personal savior. Please accept me.
Yeah.
And it's sad that a lot of Christian artists do get thrown in this box where we can't breathe outside of it. You know what I mean? Like that we can't breathe outside of it sometimes.
Once you say you do Christian music, I mean, whoever you're talking to, whoever's watching you say that, like, there's gonna be one or two things happen. Right? They're gonna like, immediately turn off, like,
Right.
yeah, I don't do any of that Christian rap stuff, or they're gonna compare you to other
Because
Christian whatever.
unfortunately they're still holding on to the stigmatism when Christian hip hop was notoriously corny. Right?
Yes,
They're still holding on
yes,
to that stigmatism where Christian hip hop is not that anymore. You know what I mean?
bro,
In any way, shape, or form. If anything, there's some actual trendsetters. There's actually
for
people.
real.
There's actually people trying to push the creative boundaries. You know
Mm,
what I mean? And is there always going to be some cornies? Yeah, because by definition, if you're not an artistic person and you want to express your faith in Jesus and how much you love him, it can come off corny,
Yeah.
right? Let's just keep it real. But for the most part,
yeah,
it's not corny anymore. It's not that, and people need to let go of that stigmatism that keeps us in that
bro.
box. You
It
know what I mean?
does, man. Like I have one of my best friends.
Richie
He's
Righteous,
still
yeah, somebody in there said it. Yeah, yeah,
Richie
yes,
Kyle,
sir.
Richie.
Kyle says he's from his borough in New York.
What borough you from, fam? I used to stay in the Bronx.
Kyle Kyle
BX in the
Kyle
house.
gives Kyle gives BX. But
The BX.
Kyle gives BS. It's given. But I'm saying like one of my very best friends. He's like probably one of the best producers I know. Like I'm mad that he gave up on just pursuing that route, and I push him every day to come back. But it's like he still till today thinks Christian rap is still in that corny phase, and just like you're saying,
So
Motion,
sad, man.
I'm like, bro,
It's not.
trust me,
It's
bro.
not.
There is insane
Way
talent out here. Like it's crazy. Like Abel. Like I remember even back in like '06, like what's his name? Cray had a song with Dwayne Triumph, probably one of my favorite Christian rappers ever. I don't know if you guys familiar with Dwayne Triumph.
I'm not.
He was in
I'm
that
not. I'm not familiar.
he was in that don't want to waste my life song. You guys Cray, one of Cray's like first like early like kind of low-key
Oh, that
bangers
was the
that
Tony Stone beat,
don't
wasn't it?
want to waste my life.
That's Tony.
Yeah,
That was Tony Stone beat,
that
wasn't it?
one, yeah. The
Yeah, yeah.
feature on that song is Dwayne Triumph. He's a
Okay.
British Christian rapper. Like, I don't think he's been making stuff for a long time now. He's probably in a different phase of life, but man, he was not corny at all. So, yes, there are some guys that probably watered down the level, but it's so good right now. Christian rap is just at a
Well,
place right now. It's just
Pouring
like
your heart out and you're being artistic.
it's
Come on,
so
man.
good.
yeah.
It's gonna
And
be. It's gonna be good.
Speaking of Christian artists that are not corny right now, putting out some fire, we got to talk about this Polished Arrow
I'm the
project.
only polished arrow dude here, man.
That's what I'm saying. We got to talk about at least for a minute, dude. It comes out Friday. New
It
Blood.
does. New
New
blood.
Blood. The
Absolutely.
first. It's
Polished Arrow.
the album that people have been waiting on, man. Fans of Polished Arrow have been waiting on a full label, crew, whatever, squad, collective, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, sir.
Polished Arrow is an indie movement, but they've been waiting on all of y'all to get together on a project for a while, and it's finally happened. We've got 2 singles that are already out. Bitter Waters, which
Light
is
of the
Cypher
world.
track,
LOT. Yeah. Light of the world.
LOTW,
Oh, I'm in
LOTW
there.
is hard. Man, talk about that for a minute, dude. I know you're here. You're representing PA, dude. So it's on you. Talk
Shout
about
out to all the PA.
New
Shout out to
Blood,
all my
dude.
PA brothers, man. Yeah. So Polished Arrow is dropping New Blood this Friday, the 21st. It's an EP. It's produced mostly by Niku Beats and Taylor Marr. And the whole crew got on it, which seemed like a task, but it actually came together super fast. You know what I mean? So, I think it's going to be a good representation of what we can do as a crew. Everybody is, playing their part, shining on it. I think there's some high level lyricism on it. The beats are incredible. And the fact that, like you said, that we're independent, we're not affiliated with anybody or anything. we're just kind of like, carving our niche out in in CHH for sure. And yeah, man, I don't know what to say. I wish other guys were here, but I think
Well, hey,
I think it came out like above expectations. You know what I mean? And everybody
Yeah.
was so excited to do it. And I'm pretty new to Polished Arrow. I've been in Polished Arrow for about a year now, right? And Mill's even newer than me, and Mill killed everything that he did. Intellect is at his high level, Precise is at his high level, Rich is at his high level, Just James came with it. I mean, everybody is, and who am I forgetting now? Caboose got on a couple joints.
Griff,
Caboose
Griff is on there.
Griffin.
Griff is on it. Griff lended his stuff. He wanted to be on it a little bit more, but you know how life is, man. When you're a multifaceted crew like we are with so many people, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's hard to get everything. But I think everybody came together, found the beats they love, powwow together, just. What I'm saying? It just felt right and natural. And I'm excited for people to hear it. Like I said, I think it's a great first representation for Polished Arrow as a whole. Because, we're stacking when it comes to all the solo projects and side projects and group projects that we do together. But as a whole, I think it's super cohesive and dope.
Dude,
That Light of the World beat is fire, by the way.
Yeah, man. That's
wait.
That's Niku.
Just wait.
Niku is so good, fam.
Well, and dude, I hope that Intellect won't get mad at me for talking here, but like I won't sit here and tell you guys that I'm
Talk away, bro.
part of Polished Arrow, but I am loosely affiliated with Polished Arrow in the background,
You are.
So
we are grateful for your services, sir.
Yeah. So I'll say this, dude. Like, one, I truly believe that over the past 3 years, it's hard to find a collective that has been as consistent and putting out as much material as Polished Arrow does. Not only that, but every single one at a high level, right? I know you were kind of being humble to an extent. I'm gonna brag a little bit about you guys, but I think with this project, what we're really seeing is elite hip hop that has zero reservations about being very clear on the faith.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very, very bold, very, carrying that banner for Christian hip hop, and the Christian being the focus and the message of the gospel being,
it's
the
so prevalent through the whole
you
record.
know? Yeah. And, dude, man, I'm so happy for you guys, dude, to be dropping this. I know that it's been a long haul. But not only is it connecting with fans of the Christian hip hop genre or subgenre.
We're getting Shade 4-5 burn.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Both of the singles, man. Both of the singles
we're on Shade 4-5.
Shade 4-5.
Yep. So Punchline Academy for Bitter Waters, and then last night was on Rappers Out of Control. They played Light of the World, LOTW. So no, it's an extreme blessing for real that we're getting put on those type of shows, especially when we have no label affiliation with anybody or anything.
Dude, it's just a moment. It's just a matter of time, dude, before Sway comes calling to get Polished Arrow up in the studio.
I'm ready for that. I got the shoulders for it. Let's go.
I'm just saying. Hey, Sway's been putting CHH on, dude, and that shows you, dude. See, now that doesn't mean to slack off or whatever, but Christian hip hop doesn't need to prove itself anymore. Christian hip hop needs to do.
I mean, did you just
what
hear
it's
that
intended for? You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear that last freestyle from Mill? I mean, he just put up that reel where he's rhyming over the Alchemist beat from the mouth. Mill killed that. That's high level lyricism, right? And I try to be humble. I don't think that I slack in any way. I don't think any member of Polished Arrow slacks.
No. I'm just saying, for the bigger.
No, what I'm saying is we should be in the. So this is not going to sound as humble as it should, but why can't we be in the conversation? Why can't Sway come and
when you are walking in your purpose,
right?
God is going to bless that,
right? I agree.
What's that look like?
Yeah. I'm excited for the few. I mean, none of us are slowing down, right? I mean, I got a solo coming right after that album. Mill's working on stuff. I think Caboose and Mill got something in the pipeline too. I'm sure Precise got 8 albums.
Pro and Intellect, Pro and Intellect dropped that
Yep.
joint single a few weeks back, and
I mean,
I'm assuming there's a new project coming from those two. So
I mean, it just doesn't stop. And I think this is a great this group album is a great representation as a whole, to be like, okay, that was all this stuff leading up to this point. Here's what we all can do together. Enjoy it,
Yeah, man. Kyle Manning, tell me you've been checking out the Polished Arrow stuff, and
Yeah, come on, Kyle, stop
Come on,
playing.
Kyle. I'm gonna wait and see. Hey, plug what you got coming on the solo side. You mentioned it briefly there.
Yeah. So on December the 5th, I'm dropping my 3rd project this year. So
Ooh.
in January I dropped Focus, which was completely produced by Afro. And then I did in June or July, I did Improper Decorum, completely produced by Niku. And now I'm coming back with Afro on an EP. It's called Antiquity. Drops December the 5th. I got Mill on there. I got my man Strategy on it. Waiting for my man Dante from Chicago. I hope he makes the album. I really want him to. But yeah, 7 joints, man. I think it's bearing my heart. There's some deeper stuff in there. You know what I mean? Some political aspects. Got a lot of faith in there. Some hurt stuff in there too. I've been quite a bit, right?
That's what's up.
And so December 5th, Antiquity. Come and check it out. I dropped the first single was The 80s. It's out now on all platforms.
Love the beat.
I'm an old guy, right? So I survived the 80s. And it's just a song about what we went through in the 80s and how it was a different time. It's just a fun hip hop song. You know what I mean?
I mentioned in a meeting with a student the other day, like it was me, the student, their parent, and my department director, right? We were having a meeting going over some stuff, and I just brought up like, hey, back when we were kids, 80s, 90s, we were told, they taught us religiously, like, what happens if you get caught on fire? You stop, drop, and roll, right? I was like, are they doing that for you guys now? They're like, oh yeah. I said, no. I was like, you don't understand though. Like they did it so much when we were kids.
Because you could catch fire in the 80s. That's why.
Well, dude, like we fully expected that we were going to be burning multiple times in our life, right?
Like it was just inevitable. There's something, the asbestos mixed with the pixie sticks.
Well, and when I said it, my department director, she just started like belly roll laughing, and I'm like, I'm kind of bothered by how much you are laughing. I've never seen you laugh this much, but the thought of me being on fire is making you like almost fall out of your chair right now. Like that's disturbing.
I said this on the 80s. I said, what I say at the end of one first verse, I said, playgrounds of glass, invincible, it cut us. Dangerous, not sensible. We loved it. The 80s. That like I felt like that summed it up. Like things were so crazy. And I'm a 90s kid too, right? So I was born in that year, in a time where I was my young age was the 80s, and then my teenage years were in the 90s, right? Yeah. But the 80s was a crazy time. I mean, they had us like tornado drills to stop, drop, and roll to freaking there might be a nuclear bomb explosion. We got to go down to the fall. They were still worried about the Cold War. You know what I mean? Like it was such a magical time.
Nowadays, you owe me getting back on this show, dude.
Nowadays,
come on.
There goes
me. Is music not so dope right now? Come on, man.
Oh man, Nowadays, get back on the show with us, dude. That dude has been dropping heat as well. Go check
Eric out. Owes me a Kango.
That's what he said.
Have y'all been seeing I've been rocking the LL Cool J. My heart is like a shark's fin Kangos lately. I went and bought me like 3 different colors. I had to get back to it. I don't care.
Well, this isn't Kango brand, but it's the only one I've got. So, yo, McGruff. Shout out to McGruff. Yeah, definitely. Nowadays, it says Motion Plus.
What up?
There you go. That means we need a Motion Plus and Nowadays track.
Well, he was on Survival Guide on Focus, and I would love to do more music with Nowadays. He's too dope,
Yeah.
man. We got to make it
We
happen
need
again.
a little collab EP, dude. A little collab EP.
Somebody else said that in a chat, man, or on. I mean, I would love to do that. He's a busy man, but
He is.
I would
Making
love
that
to do that.
fire. I know, man. It would
be more than an honor. It would be more than an honor, man.
We've been setting. Nowadays did a lot of episodes.
Love
with
you
us.
too, bro.
Yeah, man. We love him and we miss him, and hopefully he'll slow down and be able to come back and talk to us some more because he's our dude. Oh, he plans on being back soon. Okay. All right. There we go.
So
we'll get through these holidays, man, because I know we're probably going to take a little break through the holidays.
Well, I work for FedEx in my day job, so once after Thanksgiving hits, y'all ain't going to see me until the 1st of January.
That day job's going to turn into an all-day job is what that's going to happen.
No, it already is, man. Listen, we call it peak, and we know when it is. It's a wrap. It's a done deal.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, we appreciate you sliding through and hanging out with us tonight again.
For real.
New blood, polished arrow music this Friday.
Please go all streaming platforms.
Yeah, go check out the singles right now to get you hyped up for it. There's a video for Bitter Waters. Go check that out. Both songs on our playlist, fresh picks right here. YouTube music. Go check that out. Go check out Frenchie Riff Steps as well on there. So, Frenchie, any final words for the people?
Oh man, just a pleasure connecting with other brothers in the faith, man. For real, Motion Plus, absolute pleasure.
Let's follow each other on social media.
Oh, for real. I'm about to find you right after this, big dog. For real.
Let's do it.
Just locked in. You already know every Friday, 8:30. We live on the tube. We're gonna get you on there too. Motion. I had EB on the episode. It was pretty dope, but it's at a nasty hour of 8:30 and Eastern. So it's tough. It's a tough one. But that's it, man. Yeah, check out Steps, man. Let me know it's a little dance vibe. If you hear it at a wedding, cool. if it makes,
gotta make music for that too.
I was just at a wedding, and man, the Cupid Shovel came on. I was like,
Frenchie sliding over there like, hey, yo, pass me that Oxford.
I was like, hey, go ahead, just drop that. I was like, we got that Cupid Shuffle has run its course, man.
When that comes on, fam, when the Cupid Shuffle is troublesome when that
has run its course, man. But yeah, let's just stay locked in, man. It's your boy French. I appreciate every time I'm on it with y'all boys, for real.
So I'll leave you guys with one more story. I went to the doctor the other day. Went to the doctor, and he told me that my DNA was actually backwards. I looked at him. I said, "And?" Anyway, y'all know what it is, man. It is a Monday night, 520 Collective, FiveTwenty IXC. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us. If you're watching the replay, make sure you leave us some comments. We want to know that you're around, and we want to interact with you, man. So if you're watching the replay, let us know what you thought about the different things we talked about in tonight's episode. We'll be back, hopefully, at least one more time, maybe between now and the end of the year. We'll see what the holiday schedules are like, but we are going to try to get back in, at least one or two more episodes before the end of the year. So we'll see if we can make that happen. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Shout out to everyone that was hanging out with us tonight. Kyle, Naladeus, Jose. Who else do we have? Ms. Yachty. I don't think I'm missing anyone else that actually made a comment there. So appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is for the entire crew, including our guy Big Swiss that just wasn't able to make it tonight. And of course, KD, King David the Vessel. Y'all know what it is.